Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 16, 2024. And in the news this evening, 5 killed in road crashes during week ending March 15, says RSU. 2 drivers of private motor cars and 2 motorcyclists are among the 5 people who were killed in motor vehicle crashes during the week ending Friday, March 15. 1 pedestrian was also numbered among the dead, with overall road fatalities since the start of the year now 82 from 73 fatal crashes. This is according to the Road Safety Unit, which is located in the Island Traffic Authority, in its latest weekly bulletin released on Friday. The RSU is reporting that fatal crashes have decreased by 14%, while fatalities have decreased by 15% when compared with the similar period in 2023. It said fatalities for 2024 are projected to decrease by 2% when compared with 2023. Meanwhile, pedestrians currently account for 18% of the road users killed as of March 15, motorcyclists account for 39%, drivers of private motor vehicles account for 18%, and the passengers of private motor vehicles account for 10%. Vulnerable road users, pedestrians, pedal cyclists, motorcyclists, and the pillion riders account for 63% of the road users killed as of March 15. Meanwhile, males and females account for 87% and 13% respectively of the road fatalities since the start of the year. 54-year-old salesman robbed and shot dead in Spanish Town. Investigators from the St. Catherine North Police Division have launched a search for gunmen who allegedly robbed and murdered a 54-year-old salesman in a section of Jones Avenue in Spanish Town on Friday. The police have identified the deceased as Clive Anthony Roy from Biles District in Kitson Town in the parish. Reports are that about 12:40 p.m., Roy was delivering juices and other items in the Backlands community when he was attacked. The killers reportedly took an undetermined sum of cash and then shot him repeatedly in the upper body. The police report that the attackers placed Roy inside the back of his vehicle, which was driven to another location in the community and abandoned. JFJ urges new police commissioner not to ignore police welfare. The human rights organization Jamaicans for Justice wants the welfare of the members of the police force to prioritized by the new police commissioner. Executive Director of JFJ, Michael Jackson, says as Dr. Kevin Blake assumes the role of police commissioner, he must see to the improvement of working conditions for police personnel. Ms. Jackson says that the welfare of the members of the force should not be sacrificed in the face of their duties.
It is also important for Dr. Blake to not only focus on improving the policing, but to ensure that the needs and welfare of the police officers, the rank and file officers, those good men and good women within the force, their needs, their welfare are certainly advocated for. For example, we do not believe at JFJ that we should have law enforcement litigating their way to get improved salaries. We should have that system in place that fairly compensates. We need police officers to have good working condition. When law enforcement officers are out there in the field, they have daunting duties, and you want to ensure that mental health and some of those more psychosocial support are provided to them. So we hope that Dr. Blake would be an advocate in that regard.
Most Jamaicans live in paycheck to paycheck, says Robinson. Opposition spokesman on finance, planning and the public service, Julian Robinson, says Jamaicans are not reaping the benefits of the stable economy being touted by the government, with a majority living paycheck to paycheck. The narrative of macroeconomic stability has not translated into substantial improvements in the daily lives of the Jamaican populace, Robinson said on Thursday as he made his contribution to the 2024-2025 budget debate. For most Jamaicans, the frustrating hand-to-mouth can't make ends meet struggle is the reality. A significant portion of our working populace lives paycheck to paycheck, and for those without a paycheck, life is even more difficult, Robinson remarked. He argued that consumers are getting less and paying more every day. Prices are high and wages are low. For the most vulnerable, life is precarious. Many days there are people who wake up in the morning with no clue where their first and possibly only meal of the day will come from, Robinson added, pointing out that a patty, a Jamaican staple, once considered affordable, now cost $250, while a loaf of bread cost between $400 and $500. Robinson asked, how are the poor people to survive? The opposition spokesman said the government was not doing enough to cushion the effects of high prices on the poor. He pointed out that despite a marginal increase in benefits under the PATH program, nearly 285,000 beneficiaries were receiving a mere $38,000 per year, which works out at roughly $730 a week, or about $104 per day. That $730 per week can't even pay for a low-cost, nutritionally balanced diet for one person for one day a week. We must do better than this, Robinson said. Poor conditions force relocation of Police Area 1 headquarters in St. James. National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang says the Area 1 Police headquarters in St. James will be temporarily relocated to the Barnett Tech Park in Fairfield in the parish. The area covers Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. Dr. Chang made the announcement Saturday following a tour of the facility, which is located on Sewell Avenue, and several other police stations. The security minister was accompanied by outgoing Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson, Commissioner-designate Dr. Kevin Blake, and other area and divisional commanders. What we are looking at is possibly moving the area headquarters out there in short term because the facility at Sewell Avenue is literally falling apart, said Chang. There is a risk in keeping it there. If you had come inside the office, you would have seen concrete roof falling in big logs. There was no timeline for when a new headquarters will be built. Moving should be early this year, but the new area headquarters will take a little while to build, Chang said. G2K demands PNP's Omar Newell retract comments about DPP. Generation 2000, the young professional affiliate of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, is demanding Omar Newell, a People's National Party representative, retract reckless statements concerning Director of Public Prosecutions Paulo Llewellyn. Newell's comments made on his social media page is deeply concerning and undermines the integrity of the office of the DPP, the group alleged in a statement Friday. Generation 2000 calls on Newell to retract his defamatory comments immediately. Newell, an attorney and a businessman, made the comments Friday on X, the social media site formerly known as Twitter. We can now see why DPP went after ISAT, he said, in an apparent reference to attorney Isaac Buchanan, who was the subject of a complaint by the DPP to the General Legal Counsel. Buchanan also represents entertainer Vybz Kartel, one of 4 men whose murder convictions were overturned by the Privy Council on Thursday. The Jamaican Court of Appeal is to decide whether there should be a retrial. G2K is deeply concerned about the implications of Newell's comments, especially considering the high-profile nature of the case involving the office of the DPP a day after the Privy Council announced its ruling. Reckless remarks like these not only cast a doubt on the professionalism and impartiality of the DPP, but also pose a safety risk to the staff of that office, the group said. It said as a political candidate, Newell must recognize the gravity of his words, and a refusal to retract would raise serious questions about the type of representation he would bring if elected.